So I really want to give you a race report, and I'm so behind on my writing, so I thought I'd make a short video. I don't know if it's going to be short, but at least a video. First of all, thank you so much for following me on my big day, Road to an Ultra, and it was all about the journey. The race, that was just celebration. And my coach, Sarah Seeds, was very clear, and she just kept telling me, celebrate arriving to that start line. And I arrived at the start line, and I really celebrated. Now, who sleeps well the night before a race? I didn't. I think I slept for about 3 hours, and I woke up, and the funny thing was, when I woke up, I was crying in the morning. I was all in tears, I was feeling very emotional, and I was crying. I ate my breakfast, drank my lemon water, did what I had to do, everything was okay. Jumping in the car, my husband, who took me to the start line, and he said, I know you so well, and I can tell you're nervous, but you have practiced and trained for this, and you've got this. And I knew that this was just the show. I was ready for it. Arriving to the start line, I met up with 2 friends, old trail runners that I used to run with in a trail team, and it was so nice to have them with from start. I had practiced and trained solo, and it was really nice to have people run the first hill up. The first part of the race, let's divide it into 3 different parts. The first part, that was very technical, it was climbs, and it was a part of the playground that I don't know, I'm not so good up there in the north, and I don't really feel at home up there, so I was a little bit nervous, and it was lovely having them with me. And I was drinking a little bit, sips of that, and we were climbing very, very slow. All was good. Then, at about 25k, no, before that, at 17k, they went off. And when they left me, I started crying. And I thought, am I going to do this on my own? What was I thinking? And that was the first time in the race I was thinking, what was I thinking? Anyway, they went off, and I climbed 3 more little peaks. And it's very technical up there in the north. And it's up and down in your legs. The views are wow. The views are absolutely wow. But the thing was, it was very cloudy, it was super windy, and I was feeling fragile. I was really feeling fragile. But anyway, off I went, and I knew, Sarah, you can do this. First 30k, I arrived to the pit stop. My children, they came and met me, and they were blonde little kids running towards me, asked, do you want to have these shoes, Mom? Do you want to change shoes? Ate watermelon, some carrot cake, put on some sun cream. I'd done 30k in 4 hours and 10 minutes, so I was behind on schedule. I carried on onto leg number 2, and the next stop would be at 50k. That was going to be halfway. Something happened here on leg 2. It was supposed to be a flat and steady part of the race, and I was going to go strong, steady, and I knew this is where I can recover after the up and down that I'd done in the north. I didn't recover. It went utterly wrong. My knees started hurting, felt like it was on fire, was getting inflamed, and there's several reasons to this. But anyway, my knees were hurting. And I just got so, I thought, oh no, this is too early in the race for this to happen. And I was not feeling comfortable. My slow and steady turned out into something not what I had planned. Then, my GPS, I took the wrong way. I went the wrong way. Don't ask me how. So I ended up climbing a volcano, and I got lost. I got chased by dogs, and here somewhere, it was too early in the race for it to go wrong, but it went wrong. I gathered myself, and I thought, okay, just make it to the 50k. That's the next stop. At 50k, I changed shoes again, and I met up with my running sister, Belinda, and it was lovely seeing her at 50k. And already then I kind of realized I'm not going to hit my goal time, but there are 2 things I can do. Either I can enjoy this race and forget about the time and just make it to the end, or I can punish myself and not enjoy it, still not make the time, and make people around me all miserable. So I chose to accept. I'm in pain physically. I couldn't go. I have okay fitness level, and I was strong enough to manage 100 kilometers in the time I'd set, but apparently not. That day was going to teach me something else, and it did. So at 50k I went off, pit stop, the kids, kisses, hugs, love you, and ate. my GPS watch, I noticed the battery was getting low. And I said to my running sister, I said, Linda, the battery's getting low, what are we going to do? Because I wasn't getting a medal for this race, but I wanted my whole 100k track. That was very important to me. So Belinda said, listen, this is your race, you're making it up, the track and everything. Let's pass my house, we get a battery charger and a cable, and you can charge your phone or your watch. So that's what we did. We ran home to Belinda and we laughed. Well, around here, now we're talking at about 55k, and my knee was really starting to hurt. And I knew that everybody kept saying 60 to 80, that's going to be your tough part, Sarah. That's where you're going to have to push through. I pushed through. So I was running with my battery charger on my GPS, and I felt very relaxed about that. Then I came to 60 kilometers, and truth be told, I don't really remember what happened at 60. I arrived at the pit stop, my husband was there, and he looked at me and he said, I don't think she's going to make it. And I said, please give me 6 more kilometers and let's see. Whoops. So I arrived at the 60. I actually was lying on the ground. My knee was burning. It was like sharp knives. I made a video for you guys on Instagram and for social media. And in that video, it was here. I was crying. It was here. Anyway, so I continued 60 to 66. And I knew Coca-Cola, that was my last thing that I was going to take. At 66 kilometers, I didn't know. I really, that's when I doubted everything. But I knew I'm going to finish this race no matter what. Now it's just a matter of today or tomorrow. I drank my Coca-Cola and I continued walking with Belinda. We were walking and I cried a little bit. I laughed and then I cried again, and I was in real pain. And it just felt so unfair that this knee, I've never had knee problems, but my body was just not cooperating. And I've never experienced that before. So it was a good lesson. So we came to 70 kilometers. Belinda left me at 70. And then, whoa, excuse me, the wind. Belinda left me at 70. And then my husband said to me, and at 70, then I felt, you know what, I've pushed through. Okay, I've got this. And it started feeling better. I mean, I was in so much pain and I was really struggling, but you kind of get into, okay, I'll just walk. I'm going to walk. My husband, he said, I'm doing the last climb with you. And it's very hard to explain like this what that meant to me. But having him climb that last climb with me in my pink socks, it was hilarious. So 80k, and I went off in the dark on my own. And the part where I ran in the dark, it's really technical there. It's really technical. It's down trails, but I could smell the ocean. I could smell the ocean, and I knew the ocean's over there, the mountain's over there. So just take one step at a time. And honestly, I thought, you know, if a mountain goat is going to come and eat me, or if the boogeyman is going to come, he can come and get me, because I'm disgusting, tired, and I'm not fun to be with. So I had my little headlight, and the sun was going down. And it was really emotional, and it makes me cry a little bit thinking about it. I was so desperate to get my 13.5 hours, and I knew I wasn't going to make it, but I went in the dark and I felt peace. I really felt peace. It was beautiful. And this camera's not behaving. So I went off in the dark and I just felt, wow, this is great. What a privilege. What a privilege to be out here, to do this, to complete this ultra. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. And then the last 7k, I had a friend who came and met me. She had a thermos of coffee with, and we walked in the dark. She gave me some coffee. And we walked for 7 kilometers, and the joke of it all is I had to cut my track because I had detoured around 30k. I had to cut my track and take away a loop, and then I had to walk. And I said, you know what, I've got to carry on walking 2 more kilometers because my watch, I need 100k. And we were walking, we were talking. We didn't go fast, My body, I was really hurting. My feet, they were hurting, of course, but somehow I felt that I was a bit frustrated because I hadn't been able to empty everything, the fitness capacity. I knew I was able to. I've run marathons, and mountain marathons are really hard when you push your heart rate for about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And this was a different kind of tiredness and a different kind of, I guess that's what you call endurance. So my phone died. The last 2K I was on my own, and my phone died and my headlamp died. I had my boys and family, some very good friends, waiting for me at home, and it's a tower where it is, and there are 3 floors, so they were waiting at the top for me, and they said, shine your light so we see when you come. And they couldn't see me, and I could see them standing at the top. It was so windy, and I was shouting, I'm on my way, it's Sarah, and they couldn't hear me. And then they heard me, and it was so funny. And before that, my running sister Belinda, at about 95K, she came with a big bunch of flowers because she wanted to celebrate. And I said, but Belinda, I haven't arrived. I need to do 5 more K. I haven't done the last 5K. So she gave me the flowers. Here I'm walking with this bunch of flowers, and it was just hilarious. It really was. It felt like I was in a movie, all made up, and it was all made up. And then I'm walking with my flowers, no headlight, no phone, no nothing, and I'm trying to get hold of my family so they can see me arrive on the finish line. All of a sudden they hear me, and then I say, I have to walk another 100 meters because I was missing 100 meters, and I wanted, for my track, I wanted 100K. So they were, okay. So they were running after me and looking for me with torches. Okay, she has to go another 100 meters. And I walked another 100 meters. Then I came and I gave my husband the biggest hug I've ever given him, besides when I gave birth to the children. But I gave my husband the biggest hug, and I felt, I didn't cry. I didn't, nothing. I just, I've done 100K. And it was such a weird feeling. Then I went indoors and I sat down in a chair, and I couldn't move anymore. They gave me a plate of pasta, and all I wanted was some cold beer. I've been longing for that beer all day. So they gave me a beer, and I couldn't eat and I couldn't drink, and my feet were hurting so badly and my knees were on fire. And I just wanted to shower and get to bed. But I did feel peace. I was very, very happy. I felt at peace. I had done 100K. But the biggest thing, and what I was most proud of, was my time. It wasn't good. 16 and a half hours. That's not what I wanted. But I persevered, and I endured, and I completed it. And that was such a big thing. The next morning, when I woke up, I couldn't get out of bed. Honestly, I couldn't get out of bed. So I kind of wriggled my way out of bed, and somehow I made it down the stairs. And for about 2 days, it was difficult walking. My circulation was so bad. Something went wrong with my circulation, and my legs were like 3 times the size. And it took like a couple of days for it to go down. And today, we're a week later, and the thing that's hurting is the foot. My right foot hurts a little bit. But otherwise, people asking, how are you feeling? And you know what? I feel great. I'm very happy. And it's been not so much up, not so much down, more very, very, very content. And I feel that I am here and now in this moment, not thinking too much, what am I going to do in the future? What's the next challenge? I feel a little bit that I want to go out and do 100K again, just to do it in a good time. But I know that, like I said, this ultra, I was on my own. I had people running with me, but it wasn't a race. It wasn't the before, it wasn't the after, it wasn't the during. It was all up to me. And I'm very proud of that, and that I followed my journey, that I dreamt it, I made it, I started it, and I ended it. And this might be the worst race report ever, but I just wanted to let you know. And if you have questions, ask me, please ask me, and I'll try and answer the best I can. The 3 things I did learn on this race, 3 things, is 100k, you can't compare distances. It's impossible. You cannot compare distances. And I also learned that you can manage anything. If you set your mind to it, you can manage, you can cope, and you're capable of anything. And I've been talking for 16 minutes. Thank you for listening, and I think I should write that race report too. If not for you, for me, to just get it all down, clear my thoughts, and have it to remember. And I'm looking forward, because there are more adventures ahead, and I'm looking forward to those. So thank you for listening. Big hug.